Hey everybody, I'm Meredith Doty, and this is Sweating Shirtless. Every episode, I dive deep into unpacking the fitness world through a body-confident and inclusive lens while picking the brains of inspiring, brilliant, accomplished, honest, new, and old friends talking about their experience with sweating shirtless. Today, I sit down with Amanda Brabec and chat about her journey from the corporate world to full-time fitness world, starting her podcast, Build with Brabec, and creating a 6-week program that's rooted in community, and also just her passion for making fitness fun. I think you're gonna love this episode. I can't wait to get started. All right, Amanda, thank you so much for joining Sweating Shirtless.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Me too. How are you doing this week?
I'm good. I feel like it's just one of those weeks where I'm like kind of all over the map, but it's been a while since I've had those because, you know, the world that we're living in. So it feels good. It's like I'm back
Don't you
here.
miss being just like busy?
Sometimes. And then sometimes I'm like afraid of being as busy as I used to be.
Do you think that you'll ever be as busy as you were in 2019?
No, because now I know how to make boundaries and I'll never do it again. Like, I think that there needs to be like, obviously there are going to be days, there are going to be weeks that are like, you got to just grind and get it done. But like the way I was living before was not sustainable or healthy at all. As so many fitness instructors, I think, can relate to.
Totally. So what was life like in 2019 for you? What was not?
Oh,
what are you leaving in the past?
Well, so I was teaching spin at Cycle Bar in Assembly Row, and then I was teaching a few different class formats at Everybody Fights at 2 different of their locations, and then also doing like the marketing for Cycle Bar and kind of like this here and that there, and it was very much, which I think is really just part of breaking into a new industry, especially something like fitness, like teaching 5 a.m. classes and then scurrying around all day, getting your own personal stuff done to like do whatever, growing your brand or, doing the marketing for that studio, whatever, and then going to a different studio at night and teaching, and you're just working such long days. And also like coming off of like corporate life, feeling any guilt if you're not working during that 9 to 5 period. So you're not resting, all of that stuff. So, I mean, I think just putting up some healthy boundaries and knowing when to say yes and knowing when to say no.
Yeah, definitely.
Just something that everyone needs to learn anyways. So,
yeah. How do you decide what's a boundary and what's like a negotiable?
It's a great question. I mean, I think, like I was saying before, like there are definitely going to be days and weeks that are just you're grinding and there's a lot to do. But I think kind of just being more intuitive with your gut, which I know is kind of tough because it's not like a hard and fast like rule. But like if there's something that's like gonna, push you towards one of your goals or like feels really good in your gut, maybe you need to carve out the time for it. And if there's stuff that's just like not really serving you anymore and you're just kind of doing it just like maybe because you feel like you should or you feel maybe external pressures, maybe it's time to say no.
Yeah. Like trusting your gut, learning to listen to it and then trusting what it says.
Yeah. And I think like as you get older and, like in the fitness space or whatever, you kind of get a little bit stronger in your convictions and like know what you stand behind. So you're not just going to like say yes to every partnership or every like teaching opportunity and like that kind of stuff. So.
Gosh, yes. I relate with that so much. I think in the beginning, I was like anything, like I was like, yes to this, yes to this, yes to this, yes to this, like grinding 7 days a week. And then like one of my non-negotiables now is Sundays are my day off. Like unless like there's no one available, like I will step in, but I try to keep that as like a no-go.
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of my like 2019 life. Like I was teaching Saturday mornings, and then for a long time I was teaching Sunday mornings at EBF, so it's like you literally don't have any days off. Even if it's just you're going in to teach an hour-long class, you still have to make sure you get proper rest the night before. You're waking up early, you're programming, you have to spend the time
Yes.
commuting, like all the things. And now I have finally carved it out. So I have Saturdays and Sundays. And like I am happy to cover classes and help out my team. But yeah, like you, like especially Sundays, sacred day. Like,
So you just need like a full day of just like whatever you want. Like if you wanted to have a glass of wine on Saturday, like it won't affect your day on Sunday.
right.
Like there's so much more than just showing up for that 45-minute workout that goes into it as an
Totally.
instructor and as a participant.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
even just like, I think this time away and this time away from everybody and everything has given me such a greater like appreciation, as I think it has for so many people, of like what's really important in life. And I feel like I missed out on so many family things and so many things with my friends, which I mean, not everything was like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I think some of it was necessary because if you're grinding towards a goal, like you have to say yes to a lot of stuff and be really busy, but at the same time, knowing when to say no because like you don't want to miss that precious time with your family when like it's not guaranteed. So,
Yeah.
yeah, life's been put into some perspective, you know?
Yes. Completely. So let's take a step back and talk about your journey into the fitness world. Were you
Yeah.
always into fitness or was it like a learned thing? Talk to me.
Well, okay, so it's really funny. We're gonna go like way back to like my childhood.
Okay.
I hated gym class. I hated sports. I was a very shy, timid little girl. Um, I had a really mean gym teacher, which like if I could go back and talk to her, it's like, why are you not trying to like grow these young girls and like uplift them? Like instead of helping me like gain confidence in like just playing with other kids, she would just like bench me and be like shame me in front of the class and then give me like bad grades in gym. Like my mom would be like, "You have straight A's." Gym should be
Wait,
the
so
one.
what was happening? What did she say?
Like I just wasn't good, and so I would like get upset because I like wasn't performing well, like if we were playing like basketball that day. And she would just kind of like give me shit. And instead of being like, hey, instead try this, she'd like give me shit, put me on the bench, and tell me that I was like not trying hard enough. Or like in like when we were just talking about running a mile, the mile day in gym class. Can we just think back to that toxic, horrible day? Like there,
It's ingrained in my memory.
yes, like I will never forget it. And like I would try to run and I just didn't really have the stamina. I wasn't used to running. I'm like I don't know. And so I would end up walking part of it and she would just like call you out and like shame you for it. And it's like I am trying, but also like you're making me not want to try because you're just being mean to me. So
Yeah.
I digress. But so there is all of that and I had like really negative connotations with sports because I just like wasn't good, but my parents made me try like every single one. God bless them. And then my dad would be like, he's all about standards. He was the Navy guy for the longest time. So he like wouldn't let me quit because I made a commitment. I'm like, no, Dad, you don't understand. These kids hate me because I'm really bad. Like they don't want me to play their sports. He's like, no, they don't. You need to commit. I'm like, I don't want to commit, Dad. But as I got older, I mean, I ended up doing cheerleading for a very long time, which definitely like brought up my confidence in like my athletic ability and putting myself out there in front of people and stuff. And I got into running like once cheerleading was over and kind of just started gaining a lot of confidence like outside of the like athletic world just because like, oh, like I could never run 2 miles straight and now I'm running 3. Oh my God, I just ran 5. And it just kind of carries over into like your school life at the time or your personal life. Like you just kind of, I don't know, you're also in that athletic world. And so then when I moved to Boston, right after college, I had never really done group fitness before. It wasn't really like, there wasn't like a super popular program at UNH when I was there. And I remember going to like a couple classes, but nothing that was very like mind blowing that kept me coming back for more. And I always kind of like scoffed at group fitness, which is so funny because now it's my job.
Yeah.
But definitely had that like mind of like, you go to the gym and you like do your lifting and like very intentional in my fitness in like a shrink your body kind of way, which was so negative. And like stick to yourself and like, very like kind of judgy in the gym, like so you have your blinders on so you're not like drawing attention to yourself and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And then a few of my friends or my coworkers brought me to a couple Kick It by Eliza classes, which if you've ever taken one, like, first of all, the energy is like through the roof, but it's all about working together and uplifting each other and community and no judgment. And I had never really been around that kind of like collective energy before, I think. And like something just sparked within me and I was addicted. And so then after that, I think that was kind of the point also in Boston where like boutique fitness started to become more of a thing too. So I kind of use that as like a way to make new friends in the city, like with my coworkers, we'd like try different classes. And then I had just started a new job that was fully remote. So I had a lot of free time and I saw Eliza post something about instructor like trainings and certifications. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing and I probably will be horrible at this, but I am just going to go for it because I want everyone to feel the feeling that I have when I take these classes. And like, I don't want to ever feel like judged in the way that I used to or feel like self-conscious or like you're in it alone. So yeah, that was kind of like what got me to dip my toe in the water. That was long-winded, sorry.
I liked it. No, I love Kick It Out by Eliza. It's such a great mentality, and like her classes are so fun. All their classes are so fun.
Yeah.
I took one on. I've never been to one in real life. I've only done it via Zoom in pandemic life. But
Yes.
I was
Well,
like in the corner, like I don't know what I'm doing.
yes. Well, once the weather is warm and like it's a thing again, we will have to go to like a big outdoor like Seaport
Yes.
Sweat Kick It by
Yeah,
Eliza
I'm like kicking
together.
myself for not doing that when I had the opportunity, but hindsight is
2020.
Yep.
Yep.
You know. So
I know.
what is your corporate career? Have you I don't know if I missed that, but do you no longer do it in your full-time business?
I don't do it in like any full-time capacity. So I was kind of like you in a way. I went to school thinking I was gonna like live this creative life and be like a writer and do all those things, and then was quickly faced with reality. Well, I mean, all throughout college, when every single person was like, "What are you gonna do with that? You're not gonna make any money. Why are you even majoring in that?" Which I'm sure you can understand.
Yeah.
So I did end up changing my major to communication and business. Then I did a minor in writing. And I ended up getting a job at Boston Magazine out of school and working in their marketing department, which was so much fun because there was a lot of creativity with it. It was mostly event planning, but also some like general like branding, marketing stuff. So I worked there for a little bit, for a few years, loved it, but just needed to move on. So then I worked at Cape Air, which is like a regional airline. People mostly know them for like flying to Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. Did their marketing for a while. And then once I was like certified in Kick It by Eliza, I like started getting certified and like at Psycho Bar and then at EBF, and then it kind of was just like, I just want to do this all the time.
Yeah.
Which has its pros and cons. Like, I definitely should say, I think it is kind of a glorified career for sure, especially when you're just seeing like Instagram sides of things, but there are pros and cons to both sides for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a job is a job, no matter what the job is.
Yes.
But
100%.
I mean, if you're passionate, passionate about it like you are, I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
And you're a CPT now, and CES, which is exercise.
It's like corrective exercise.
Corrective, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
I'm studying for my CPT right now. It's no joke.
Nice. I know, especially like for us, I don't know about you, but I'm assuming I don't have any like anatomy background. So I could like understand, like I would know the answer to the question, but I wouldn't know like the scientific verbiage that they would be using. So like I wouldn't be able to figure it out. So that was a real struggle.
Yeah, like I took a practice test, and I was like, I've been working out for years. Like this will be failed. I was like, okay, we studying now. Yeah, I know anatomy like only because I went to art school and drew naked people for like 4 years.
Right.
So I know like the skeletal structure and muscles and everything, but I don't know like all of the scientific stuff behind it. So it is a real deal. So congratulations on that. That's an accomplishment.
Thanks, and good luck to you. You'll get it.
Here's hoping I get there. So the pandemic hit. You're Miss Fitness Queen, running through all these studios, wearing yourself down. How quickly did you pivot to online, and what made you kind of choose to go that route?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny, just like the way things work out. So right before COVID hit, I actually had quit Cycle Bar because EBF had offered me a full-time position, more of like kind of like a leadership role on the training team with like benefits and everything, which like if you work full-time fitness, that is a huge struggle, like to get health insurance and paid time off, like that kind of stuff. So I was like, as much as I love teaching spin, like I gotta just do this. And literally like 2 weeks after I signed the contract, COVID hit, the gyms closed, and everyone was laid off. And I was like, cool. Awesome. Which, like, not a sob story. In hindsight, that particular role, I don't think long term I would have been like super happy in just that. So I am glad with how things are now, but taking it back. So that happened. We all got laid off. At first it was like, I remember getting the email and it's like, okay, we're going to close for a long weekend. It was like right when COVID started to like, oh, this is real. This is not just like, okay, we got to wash our hands a little more, like H1N1 business. It was the real deal. They're like, we're going to close for a long weekend, which was funny because all of us were like up in arms. Like, what do you mean we're not going to get paid for a whole weekend? Like, okay, idiots. And yeah, and then that Sunday, it was like, okay, we're gonna close for 2 weeks. And then like it just kept getting realer of, everyone got laid off, which was a favor to us because then you can collect unemployment.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, because obviously it lasted much longer than what we had expected.
Well, some gyms didn't do that. Like some gyms didn't have their act together to give the layoffs. So it like screwed people over even more.
Right. So I'm very thankful that they were also ahead of it too, because so many people got laid off. I know a lot of people that were having a really hard time filing and getting their claim through. So I definitely feel lucky at that. But that definitely was like felt at the moment, like bathroom floor kind of moment. Like I remember scheduling a call with our director of operations as they were calling everyone to kind of inform everyone what's going on, formally like lay everyone off and give them directions on like what to do. And I just remember getting off that call, bawling my eyes out and calling my mom being like, I'm a failure, mom. Like, I made this leap and now I'm laid off and I have to collect unemployment like a loser. Like, it just felt like icky. And because like you get that narrative of like freeloaders, like, all, you know what I mean? And it's like, I work so hard. And I mean, again, hindsight, it's like everyone was there. So many people, you know, like you were really lucky if you weren't. And so I had my couple days to feel bad for myself. But it's funny because like before all of this, I was really like shy and nervous almost about like really sharing on social in like a real way. Like I would, you know, kind of post like, here's my professional photo from a cycle bar shoot or whatever with like, come right in my class, like that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
no real like meaning behind it. And so that week or like that weekend when everyone thought it was just going to be like, okay, a long weekend. Okay, 2 weeks. I had started sharing like, here's some home workout moves that you can do just because like everyone's in the same boat and it was a fun way for
Yeah.
me to pass the time. And I look back on those videos and it's like kind of cringeworthy how like horribly done they are. Not like my stuff is very like well produced now, still just thrown together, but it's funny. And I mean, they were really well received just because not, you know, not everyone was like really posting all that stuff yet. Studios hadn't really started putting together formal virtual offerings. So that was really kind of a fun way to just like grow the community and start feeling comfortable, like putting myself out there in a different way.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, EBF did some virtual classes, so I hopped on that, which was awesome. And I mean, I think the reason why so many of us love working in this profession is really that connection with other people. And like knowing that you're, I don't know, maybe not always making a difference in someone's day, but like you're a part of someone's day that maybe they look forward to, and you have the opportunity to give them 45 minutes of like an escape or some joy. And I was really missing that. So started doing some awkward Instagram live classes and just kind of like rolling with the punches.
Oh my God. Instagram Live is like many a punch.
Oh my God, it was like when every single person was doing Instagram live and times were tough.
The struggle was so real with those. I did a few and it's like they're no joke.
Yeah, it's just
Teaching virtually is very hard.
It's funny because it almost feels more draining in some ways because like in person, it's an exchange of energy. It's you're pouring yourself into it, but you're also getting the woos. Everyone's sweating together. Like it's a vibe. And like when it's just you yelling at a screen, especially when it's not even Zoom where you can like see faces, like Instagram Live, like if people want to stop working out for a second and throw a little like clappy emoji kind of thing, like at least it's something, but like it's a lot. And then like you turn off the class and you're just like, like, oh, that was a lot.
Yeah, it is very emotionally draining.
Yeah.
And like not to mention like there's no reason to not be doing all of the moves.
Right. It's like you kind of have to do more to keep
like
people engaged. Like if you're not going to do it, there's going to be someone else that offers a class that's like more high energy and like people will probably just gravitate towards that.
Yeah.
So,
totally.
But with that being said, it also has been a really cool way to reach new people or like it's funny, my best friend when I was like 9 years old or something, our dads were both in the Navy. So she ended up moving away when we were pretty young. And we didn't really keep in touch. We're like friends on Facebook and like Instagram, but we don't really talk. She started taking some classes and then she joined like my 6-week program and now we talk every week. So it's like just cool connections that like still can be had that wouldn't have been had. So
yeah, it is funny how connections like that have been like remade
Yeah.
I've had a few like that this year too.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about on your Instagram, your bio, it says I help people heal their relationships with food, exercise, and their bodies. So I just wanted to dive a little deeper into that and talk more about how you do that.
Yeah. So this kind of is like a new pivot or like concentration, if you will, of mine. I think slowing down, like we were saying, has really like shifted my mindset a lot and also allowed me time to reflect back on my own relationship with food and my body and exercise. And I think I mean, the better part of like my adult life, I had like a pretty messed up relationship with food without even like really realizing it, because it's like I was doing the same stuff that like most of my friends were doing or what everyone else was talking about, like obsessively using my fitness pal
Yeah.
and just like all of that, the good food, the bad food, like restricting all during the week and then like binging like crazy on the weekends, like all of that. And again, like kind of slowing down allowed me to realize like, oh, no, this is not going to be your whole life. Like your whole life is not going to be trying to keep yourself at a size that you were when you were like, what, 15, 16? Like, no, you're almost 30. You should look different. Like, allow your body the grace to like evolve and grow just like you are doing. Um, yeah, so that's kind of like my own little thing. And now it's like once you kind of see the light, you can't unsee it, as I'm sure you can relate to with like just even how some fitness instructors motivate or how they like promote their own services still in such like a body shame, even if they're not being like mean about it. There's like just a language shift that I really pick up on now, where I'm like, I
Yeah.
want no part in that. I want no part
Yeah.
in it at all. I want people to realize that like they can feel really good and feel really quote unquote healthy without feeling hungry, without feeling like bad or guilty about eating anything. Like that they can feel joyful in their movement and not constantly broken down and like beaten up because they're over exercising so much. Or they
Yeah.
can have like really amazing rest days, uh, like more than one time a week, and move in different ways and just find trust in their bodies again, that like it's going to serve them. Like it's a smart machine, it knows what to do.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of like the why behind it. The how to is definitely evolving. So I have a 6-week workout program that really just started like that. Like it was like, okay, we're still at home, we're still in this. I'm just gonna put this together. It's, I bring them on. It's all on like an app, so they don't have to be at anything live. They can do it at their own leisure. And then in the last couple rounds of it, I've added more like mindfulness. And this last time I added a journal where every week it's like a different prompt, just reflecting back on realizing that, kind of like what we had been talking about, realizing that like they should be reflecting on their relationship with themselves and their relationship with their bodies, and kind of digging deep into how they talk to themselves, or thinking back to like, okay, when I was a child or in high school or whatever, what movement made me feel really good? Like maybe you were on the dance team and it like lit you up from the inside out, but now like you hate working out. It's like maybe find a dance class, or like a class where you move to the beat of the music. Like there are just so many options. So yeah, so that's one way. And then obviously I started my podcast to also bring different experts or different voices on that kind of share that same, not even messaging, but like goal, I guess. Just like letting people know
Yeah.
you're not alone in your insecurities, and we all have our shit, but we should talk about it more because then we can all help each other out, get to a better
Totally.
place.
Yes. It's like when we hold things in that our mentality in that is like covered in like like shame, like we're ashamed of this of our how we feel about our body or what we ate or whatever. If we hold it in, it's just gonna like compound. As soon as you
Totally.
speak it out loud, it kind of like disappears. It like pops like a balloon and
Yeah.
confetti comes out is what I like to say. I learned
Yes.
that from Brene Brown. I don't know if you've read any of her books. Oh my gosh,
She's amazing. I haven't read her books,
she's
which like they're on
awesome.
my list. I've listened to some like the podcasts and stuff.
Yep, any of
She's
it is just so good.
right. And I
Big
think it's
fan.
just, I mean, with anything, if you are able to like link arms with some people, or even if it's just like on Instagram, you start following someone that maybe expresses some of the thoughts that you've had in your head and you're like, oh my God, I'm not alone. Like,
Yeah,
oh, just like takes
yeah,
some of the pressure off.
yeah. You're not that special.
Yeah, we're all going through it.
We're all going through it. So tell us more about this 6-week program if someone was interested in joining in. What can they expect?
Yeah. So again, it's 6 weeks. You have 4 workouts per week. None of them are like super long. We have like 2 different options. So there's the more kind of like beginner option, or if you want to like scale back to really focus back on your form and stuff, that's one option. So those ones are like 20 to 30 minutes. And then the round 2 or more advanced option, like 30, maybe a couple 45 minutes. So none of them are too long. You also have a nice little community board where you can message with the other members of the group, because it's just set specific
Nice.
rounds. You're in it together, so you're not alone. You can kind of cheer each other on. We have a couple of live optional workshops or workouts via Zoom. We typically do one with a functional nutritionist, so they can kind of talk through some of that stuff. Since I am not a nutritionist, I can, kind of help people with general things, but that's not really my wheelhouse. I'm not going to pretend like it is. So she does that. I normally bring on my good friend Marina Gearhart, Moving with Marina on Instagram, to do like a body image, body confidence workshop. Couple workouts with me if they want some live ones. We do weekly check-ins, either FaceTime, phone, or like a text or email if that's what you'd rather do. And then, like I was saying, this time we have the weekly journal prompts. So we have a little bit more to dig into during those weekly check-ins. So it's really just meant to kind of switch up your mindset with working out. Like I know quite a few of the clients have kind of said like, I used to always feel this pressure to like, I have to work out an hour, hour and a half every single day. And then once I slowed down and did these like 20 to 30-minute workouts a day, started incorporating more mindfulness, some walks into my day, like, first of all, my body did not revolt and all of a sudden like gain 50 pounds. Instead, like I felt better, like physically, mentally, all of that. So I think it's a lot of that too, like just regaining some trust. If
Yeah.
you don't really know anything about like exercising or lifting, it's a good opportunity to figure out some of the basics, all those good things.
That's great. And I love that it starts all at once. So you have the community aspect too, which is huge.
Yeah.
The
It's
buddy
like,
system is like one of the best systems to be have a consistent routine.
yeah, 100%. And just on the platform in the message board, it also, when people like complete their workouts, it pops up and is like, Mare completed her day 2, whatever workout. And then people can like react to it kind of like on a text, and sometimes like it's motivation of like, oh shit, okay, I gotta get there and do mine today too. So it's good. It's
That's
been
awesome.
fun.
So from going like on like the back end side, if someone's listening thinking like they wanted to do like start to do something similar for their community, how did you choose what kind of platform to use and how to set it up?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was definitely like one of those don't wait until it's perfect kind of situations, because like I definitely would say it's still not perfect, but that's good because like, we got stuff to work on. But I definitely kind of like crowdsourced a little bit, asked a few different people about like the platforms they were using, bopped around a little bit, and then honestly, like, don't overthink it. Just do it.
Just
And like,
start.
yeah, and just like keep your like why in mind, like it's really easy, especially when you're putting yourself out there in any way, to kind of get caught up in like the imposter syndrome stuff, or it's not good enough, like it needs to be this, that, or whatever. And it's like, it's not really why you started it. You started it because you want these people to feel a certain way or whatever, and it doesn't need to be, the perfectly produced video or all of that. So just do it. Just go out there and do it.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's with everything in life. Just do it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Exactly.
Do you think that you'll go back to when the world goes back to whatever the new normal is? Will you go back to in-person teaching?
Yeah. So I
Are you
started.
planning on it?
Yeah, we're already there. So it's a good mix right now of virtual and in person. EBF has been open, I think, like almost a month now, which feels crazy.
Oh, that's awesome. In
So
Boston, the
feels
Seaport,
good.
I knew the New
Mhm.
Hampshire one was open. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Seaport's open. So we're back. It feels really good. It feels different, but it feels
Yeah.
positive. Like we had reopened in the fall, for like a short blip of time, and it felt just like, all right, well, we're obviously going to get shut down again. Like, when is it going to happen? And it just kind of had this like kind of shadow hanging over your head. But now that we're kind of moving in the right direction and people are getting more comfortable coming in, it feels good.
Are you guys having all the kind of classes? I know there's like tons of different classes that are offered there. Are they all up and running? Meets,
No, not quite yet.
train.
So we're not doing like the road classes yet, just because with the capacity for like the train classes, which are like interval style, like strength or cardio classes, we kind of have to use that space for the class to keep everyone spread out. So definitely still like limited class types and like classes on the schedule, just as we kind of work through the capacity and spacing restrictions, but we will get there.
They're changing soon, I believe. That's what I saw recently.
Yeah.
So we're
I know.
I just hope we keep going there.
I know, right?
Spring is coming. It'll be on the up and up.
I know. It feels crazy that we like almost gone through a whole COVID winter.
It's been it's almost a year. It was St. Patty's Day.
Like I remember like towards the end of the summer, all of us were like, oh my God, it's going to be the longest winter, having to like be so stuck inside. But like we did it. We are almost there. It's going to start being warmer. Like, oh.
It was the longest winter, but we're past it.
It was. But we're almost in the home stretch.
Yeah, almost there. I got some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
Do you know your Enneagram type?
Oh my God, I don't. It's like been on my list of things to do to look it up. Because I am like so interested by that stuff.
It's like so on point.
What are you?
I'm an 8.
What does that mean?
Like leadery, know what they want and go after it kind of thing.
Okay, that seems accurate.
Is accurate. And it's just kind of like funny, like what what an Enneagram does on vacation, and it's like whatever, and like 8 picks all the activities. I'm like, accurate. Do you know your are you into like your sign, astrology?
Yeah, I'm a Taurus.
Oh,
Yeah.
the bull.
I'm
Cool.
stubborn like a bull.
Stubborn like a bull. I'm a Scorpio. What was your favorite cartoon growing up?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, oh, I don't know. I mean, so many good ones are coming to mind. I loved As Told by Ginger. Like, I feel like that one is so overlooked,
Throwback.
right?
Yes. Oh
Like
my
everyone
gosh.
always talks about like Rugrats, which like obviously that was a fave. Loved Hey Arnold, Rocket Power. I loved Reggie was the girl, right? Like her cool purple hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I liked
she was like
now that we're talking about Astral White Ginger, the Wild Thornberries was good too.
Wild Thornberries was amazing. Yes.
Are you a morning or night person?
Probably morning, yeah. I used to be such a morning person and like we got so spoiled with like not having to wake up crazy early that like now it's a little hard, but I'm definitely more productive in the morning. Like I'm useless in the afternoon and the evening.
What's one of your top bucket list items?
I would say just like general traveling. Like I would like to see everything. I want to go to all the continents and like I feel like I haven't done enough of it and that's definitely been like a COVID realization of like all of the trips that I said no to because like I need to save. I don't have time. Like no, I need to do all of it.
Yeah, totally. I'm like want to see the world.
Yeah.
Strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh. Oh. Hmm. I feel like okay. I don't even know like exactly what it was. So I was working I don't even want to like call out the restaurant because it wasn't their fault. It was like very clearly on the menu. But so I got this like rice bowl, like sushi bowl kind of thing. I was like working, when I was working at Boston Magazine, I was like running these like pool party series, which was like such a fun part of work. And they were like, "Do you want some lunch? You've been working here all day." So I was like, "Yeah, sure. This like sushi bowl sounds great." And they were like, "Are you sure? Do you like this?" And I was like, yeah, what do you mean? And then it was like the sea urchiny kind of thing. And I think
Oh,
it's called, I don't want to call it the wrong thing, but it's like the testicles of a sea urchin or something like that.
oh,
And
like
it
the
was
little.
not the tentacles, like testicles or something like that. Like it was so vile. I was so upset, but like I had to pretend like it was fine because the waiter very clearly was like, "Are you sure you like this?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. I love sushi." It was not fine and never again. I wish that I
Oh,
remembered the name because then I could warn everyone, but I don't remember.
yikes. I don't know what it was, but I don't want it.
No, I don't want
Favorite
ever want it
movie?
again. Oh, that's such a good one. I feel like there are so many
I
that
know.
come to
Very general
mind.
question.
I mean, so many different like genres for the answer, but like I love like ones that I could watch over and over again are like She's the Man with Amanda Bynes. Like my heart goes out to her. Um, a recent favorite that has become one that I can just like rewatch when I need something like comforting that I know I'm gonna love is To All the Boys I Loved Before.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that one too.
Part 1 and part 3 are so good. If you haven't watched the third one yet, hot
We've
take.
watched half of it. I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, I just felt like it was such a good representation of how dramatic and like just like big everything feels back then, you know, when the world
Yeah.
feels so big and now we're just like old and know the realities of adulthood. Yeah.
I know it's very like romantic and cute, those movies. I like them a
Yeah, it's
lot.
just like easy watching and like it's gonna
Yeah.
be good. I feel like I should like think of a more profound one, but
No, I
I
like
don't know.
love trolls.
Yeah.
Somebody.
I love it.
What's something you nerd out over?
I guess recently I feel like I've been nerding out over like animal and like planet-y kind of like documentary sort of things, like
Mhm.
Planet Earth, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But it also stresses me out because I'm like, we need to save everything.
Oh, I know. I like one of my favorite activities when I like have nothing to do and it's very much downtime is taking an edible and watching Planet Earth.
That's the
Especially
only
like
way
the
to do
jungle,
it.
like the rainforest.
I mean,
My fave.
I feel like that's not something that like every fitness instructor would like want to admit to, but like it's become almost a nightly ritual. Like little edible chocolate, nice little Planet Earth. Good.
Good. We're
It's called
recovering.
self-care. Read about it.
Totally. Any irrational fears?
Ooh. Okay, I'm like really afraid of the dark, which feels rational, but like my boyfriend makes fun of me constantly about it.
It feels rational. I
It
think
feels
all of our
very
irrational fears feel rational to us for our own whatever reason.
like every night it's like become a nightly thing of like I'm getting ready for bed and then like the bathroom is kind of like around the corner from the bedroom
Mm-hmm.
and he'll be in bed like snug as a bug, all the lights off and the apartment is so dark, our bedroom's in the basement and he like won't turn on my little bedside light so I can go safely to the bed. He's like, you are 4 feet away. Like, just walk through the darkness. And I'm like, no, turn on the light. It's not that hard. So I'm afraid of the dark.
I feel that. I got like a little kind of night light for the bathroom for those reasons. It's a diffuser, but it lights up.
Oh,
So I
that's
just
nice.
keep the light on at night so I don't need to.
Yeah. You don't
So
step
it's
any
light in there.
toes. I like watching scary movies, but then it like bites me in the ass later. So
I can't do scary movies.
yeah. I mean I can't, but I do. So it's just a problem.
Yeah. I just don't even go there. Similar
You're
to
smarter than
things
me.
that make me cry. I'm just like, nope, just not participating in that. Describe the perfect kiss in 3 words.
Mm. I would say slow.
Mhm.
That's such a good one. Um, like vulnerable because there's nothing better than like, you know what I mean? Like a sloppy like stranger kiss doesn't feel good. Like a nice like slow, vulnerable, like trusting kind of kiss. Let's go with that.
That. I like that. What was your what compliment do people give you the most?
Mm, I think I don't know. I'm always like laughing and like smiling. I guess that's something that people always like comment on. Like I'll like do like take videos of like when I'm doing like mitt work with people and it's like probably a time where you should be like tough and I'm like laughing and smiling the whole time and I'm like it's just not me, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's funny you say that. Side note, yesterday I was in that photo shoot I was telling you about, and they wanted us to, we were doing a workout and it was like a body workout. And they were like, we love the community, like camaraderie look, but we really need you to look serious. Like we really need you to look determined. I'm like, it's hard. I'm gonna look like a bitch if you're like I have a such a bitch face. I'm like,
yes, I know. I have such a hard time with that in like instructor shoots. I've never done like a legit shoot like that. But excuse me, in like instructor shoots and they're like, be serious. I'm like, I just look like I'm like smelling something funny or like I'm bored or mad. Like I don't know. I need to work on my like
I don't know. It's hard to like fake.
smizing.
Yeah, it's hard. It was hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
I don't
And
even
I've
know.
watched so
Like,
much America's Next Top Model. Like I used to binge that shit all the time. I should know, you know?
I know
Didn't
we
pick
should
up
know.
on
We should know.
it.
Instagram or TikTok? I think I know the answer.
I mean, Instagram, but it is sad, the amount of time that I have wasted scrolling through TikTok in the last year. I'll admit it.
It brings me joy. It makes me laugh.
It does. It's just fun.
Least favorite chore?
Cleaning out like the drain of, or like the little like catcher of the sink drain, like the mushy food. Ugh. Yeah, cringy.
And what's your biggest motivation?
I mean, it feels kind of cheesy, but like other people, like I feel like just, I don't know, seeing something brought out in other people. It just like the early mornings and like the tiredness, like it makes it worth it. And someone just like has that revelation where they're like, I don't have to count calories anymore. Like, oh my God, I love exercising, or I love exercising, but also I can take a rest day. Like, the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. This has been so fun. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah. Well, you can find me on Instagram, Build with Brabec. Just to see, no CK. I mean, that kind of is where everything is. The podcast is also Build with Brabec. The website is just buildwithbrabec.com. So if you search that, it probably will get you at one of the places.
And I'll link it below, so you'll find it there too. Not hard to find.
You're the best.
Well, thank you, Amanda. This has been so a pleasure. It's been so nice to chat with you, and we'll have to do this again.
So fun. Yes, definitely. I have to come take a class.
Yes, we'll do a swap.
Yes, love it. All right,
Love
thank
it.
you.
Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.